Just getting situated here and we will get started. So hang tight for a few moments. And like I said in the comments below, if you guys have any questions regarding production or sound design with Serum, or honestly anything, regarding music production, leave it in the comments below, and I will answer your questions in the video. Also, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will be posting tons of new content frequently, and yeah, you don't want to miss out on that. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna wait a few minutes here. Let me get situated. I might actually grab myself a drink, and yeah, then we will get started and wait for some people to join here. In the meantime, let's see if maybe I can get some tunes going. Gotta grab myself a drink. Hold on. See if this works. I just don't want my my video to be flagged. Let me see here. I know a good song I want to hear. Let's see, hopefully it works. I will be right back. Oh shit.
Man, you need to chill the fuck out.
All right, I'm back. All right, so let's see here. I think we're good. All right, yeah. So, studio time number 6, I think. I don't know. Honestly, I've lost track. I didn't do a good job of. Yeah, I didn't do a good job of kind of keeping track. But anyways, today we're gonna be focusing on, I guess, this track that I'm working on right now. I'll be going over some sound design stuff. I'm gonna show you guys how to make your own wavetables, make some insane fucking heavy growl bass. I don't know, it'll be a good time, and I'm gonna go over some, tips and tricks for, like, I guess, like mixing and mastering, whatever. And then obviously, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I got the stream right here on my phone, so I can obviously see if anybody comments. Hopefully we can get some viewers. I know I haven't done this many times. But yeah, my goal is to, at least do like 2 streams a week. I'm working on a couple tutorials that I recorded. I just gotta finish editing them, and then I will post those. But I guess long story short, yeah, I'm gonna be putting out consistent content, and I definitely want to try to get, you know, more interaction on these streams. Because eventually what I'm going to be doing is giving away some free serum patches and free samples and a bunch of, you know, bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, so I think when I first started this channel, which was like a couple of years ago, I had, you know, I anticipated on, you know, putting out tons of videos and making all this content, and I started strong and everything was going great, and then, you know, just kind of life got in the way, and working every fucking day, you know, all day, every day, you know, at a fucking retail job. You know, you literally don't have time to do anything, and, you know, with my son, he's starting kindergarten, so it's like I had to quit there and do something else, so, you know, it's like it was just consuming too much of my time, so now I have time to make content, so I'm going to continue to make content, and hopefully, like I said, we can, you know, get some subscribers, some, you know, interaction on these streams, so on and so forth. Because, yeah, this is honestly what I enjoy doing this shit, so, and you gotta start somewhere. Alright, so to kick this video off, I'm gonna play this track for you. This is something I actually started yesterday, and I'm making tons of progress on it. I still have to, so this second half right here, like the second drop, second build up, I literally just copy and pasted it, so I still have to go through and fix that, which is probably what we're gonna do in this video. So let me play it for you, and then we'll get into some shit. Also, if anyone's watching this, if the volume doesn't seem right, or if it's too loud or too quiet, let me know in the comments. It seems fine to me, but I know sometimes the translation is a little off, so yeah, but But yeah, honestly, I am going to. I think that'd be a good idea for like an outro. Um, I was just kind of messing around yesterday, and after that section of the song, I kind of just started playing some chords and stuff on the keys, and I think that'd be kind of cool because it's a pretty heavy, you know, it's a headbang, it's a headbanger, and having like that real gentle outro, I think that's kind of cool. Um, so, oh, what the fuck? All right, so what we're gonna do. So I'm actually gonna go through here, and I'm gonna show you some of the patches that I made for this track. So we got this one right here. This is kind of like one of the main bases. One of the main bases. So yeah, it's I'm literally just using serum and then a little bit of OTT. Yeah, so the serum patch, literally it's a pretty simple patch, to be honest with you. I'm just using some you know, frequency modulation. So basically this is what I got. I got oscillator A monster 1, which is under the spectral wavetables. I got that detuned very slightly. I got the phase and random all the way down to force the wavetable to start at the beginning of the phase cycle every time a note's triggered. I got a little bit of bend plus here for the warp mode. Nothing really going on with the wavetable position. And then I got this one all the way down because we are going to be essentially sending the signal from this oscillator through oscillator B using frequency modulation. So oscillator B, basic shape, square wave, detuned, 0.17, phase and random down. And then, yeah, frequency modulation, FM from A, up at 43%, and then we got this LFO, which it's kind of just a simple shape like this. I made it offset, so it kind of gives it more of like that wonky feel. So yeah, it's just something like this. And then, yeah, we got that on the frequency modulation going up like 14. And then we're modulating the level of oscillator B. Got a square wave sub bass, direct output, which bypasses everything. So you get a clean signal, detuned 1 octave. And then got the LFO1 modulating the level. Got some Aircan 5 noise under organics, just to add a little bit of, you know, a little bit of spice, filling a little bit of the empty spaces. And then we are running this through a high peak filter. I believe that is, yeah. Well, yeah, high pass peak filter, whatever you want to call it. It's under the multi filters. Routing everything through this, obviously besides the sub. Actually, it doesn't even matter if A is going through it or not, because A does not have an independent output. Essentially, everything is going through B. So yeah, essentially just route your oscillators and the noise through this filter. And then we got the cutoff, 43 hertz, the LFO up 29, resonance up to 41, modulate the drive, bring it up like 41. The frequency for the peak, 78%, LFO modulate at negative 29. Mix all the way up. And then we got the voicing set to monophonic, which means only one note can be triggered at a time. Then we got a little bit of glide over here, so the notes glide a little bit between each other. And then here's all the effects. Got some hyper dimension expander. Actually, no dimension expander, just some hyper detune here. A little bit of distortion, diode 1. Let's see, we got some chorus. Now, alright, so when you're using the chorus, you can get some real cool effects with this if you modulate the depth. So essentially, you turn the rate down, choose delay 1. So I don't know. obviously it all depends on the sound. You kind of have to play with it. But for this sound, I got it at 2.3 milliseconds, and then I got the depth set to 3, and I'm modulating that up 7 with LFO 1. Just, you know, you just want to modulate it just slightly. If you give it too much modulation, sometimes it kind of ruins the sound, but if you use just a little bit of it, it really creates like a nice effect. So you want the feedback up a lot though. I don't know, 65%. Low pass filter all the way open, so you can allow those frequencies to go through, and then we got the mix set to 64. And then I'm using a phase 12 plus filter here. Got the cutoff down, LFO 1 on there, up 66, resonance 37, drive, modulate that up 51 with LFO 1, and then the mix is all the way up. Got some multi-band compression here. Literally all I did was just turn the gain up like 5.6 dB. Then I adjusted the frequency bands, so the high is 171, the mid's 200, and the low is 151. And now for the delay. Alright, so the delay plugin in Serum, actually you can even use, like, I mean, honestly, any delay plugin. You can use this to create like a like that robotic kind of type sound. What you have to do though, you have to turn off BPM mode, and you have to turn the time down like really low. So for instance, I got this I got the left and right channel both at 2.67 milliseconds, I believe it is. And essentially what this does, it just creates slight delay, which kind of, you know, resonates, but it, like, I don't know, you just have to kind of hear it. Let me show you. Mix all the way up. Kind of hear it a little bit. This one's not necessarily super robotic, it's more metallic, but I'll show you in a few minutes. We can mess around with the delay and make some presets or sounds or whatever. Then I detuned the or not detuned, I modulated the delay time 6. Just create more movement, more fuckiness. And then we got some EQing here to create some sweeps, kind of bring out some of those key frequencies, really shape the sound. We got a well, yeah, low cut or high pass, whatever you want to fucking call it. But yeah, high pass over here, frequency 50 hertz, modulated up 40 with LFO 1. The bandwidth 69%, gain doesn't matter. And then we got this notch filter over here, frequencies at 56, 79, modulated down -36 with LFO 1. The bandwidth 54%, and the gain is -8.8 dB. So it just kind of creates like a, you know, obviously it cuts a little bit of the, you know, higher frequencies in it, but it sweeps the spectrum to kind of, it just creates more movement, honestly. Like, this sounds not like super crucial, but here the before and after. So yeah, and then we just got a little bit of some plate reverb over here, size at 23%. Everything else is the same. Turn the damp up to 81 and the width all the way up, and then we got the mix at 20. Just adds a little bit, you know, more of a not stereo image, but like it adds a little more width or room size to the sound. Oh, you know what? I just noticed something. I got a new serum. So there it is. Oh yeah. This is my favorite. I thought the Ableton one was kind of cool, but this is fucking sweet. I don't remember where I got this from, but yeah. Let me see. I don't think I'm modulating the no, I'm not modulating the master tune. But yeah, I mean that's really basically it. And then as far as post-processing goes, I got some OTT on here. Oh, and then another thing too. So I kind of touched on this yesterday, but I didn't really go in depth. So a little mixing tip for you. Obviously you don't want any tracks or any channels clipping. Everything should be well below 0. With your master track, once you get like into the final master, project, and you got your one, wave file, whatever, however you do it, really doesn't matter. But at the end, after you add the compression, limiting, whatever, then yeah, it'll probably bring it back up to almost 0, but it'll never go above 0. Usually, the highest my masters ever go with limiting, is just like, it's like negative 0.03 or whatever the fuck it is. But aside from that, when you are in the production stage and even mixing, you want to keep everything, very low. Here's the thing. So, all right, let me give you an example here. If we go to the serum patch, you'll notice that I actually have my master. It is literally all the way down almost. It's at 13%. So one thing that I've noticed just through trial and error is that a lot of times, if I have a track that I'm working on that just, sounds either too muddy or, it just doesn't sound good. Maybe it's clipping a little bit. Obviously you can go through all of your groups and your tracks and you can turn these levels down. But one thing you got to keep in mind is that, let's just say you're using serum. Serum has a volume of its own and it has its own meter. So, if you have this master cranked up all the way to, like, let's just say 75% and you're hitting the red in serum, sure, you can turn your track down. But you're just taking that clipping signal and just making it quieter, but it's still clipping from the source. Basically, my point is, turn everything down from the source. So barely even see, like, this, it is so quiet on here, but yet it sounds so powerful and so clean. I still haven't even finished this track. Like, this is just the raw project file here. I got 87, yeah, about like 87 tracks here. And I did add some compression and limiting on the master just because I did like a rough export. But with those things off, you could see I don't have like any of my tracks turned down at all. And my master, I think it was clipping, in the drop, it was clipping at like -2. And everything is super clean. There's tons of headroom, and that is because I turned everything down from the source. So yeah, when you're using, whether it's Serum, Massive, Nexus, doesn't matter what plugin you're using, turn it down, like I said, at the source over here, and then you can bring it up. So, like I said, I turned it all the way down in here, and then brought the volume and the levels back up using some OTT. You could use regular compression, sausage fattener. It really doesn't matter. It all depends on the sound. But that's one thing. And then if you're working with audio files, or, audio clips, which you can do. So what I did here for my kicks, I got a couple different layers for like the kicks and snares, that I consolidated here. But you can see here, I actually turned the actual, the sample down -7 dB. So by default, when I drag this sample into my arrangement, it is at 0 dB, and you can visually see that there is no headroom. There's literally that much headroom. This little tiny area right over there above the, the sample. That's basically your headroom. Like I said, yeah, sure, you can turn your actual track down, but in the end, that's not really gonna work. You're still gonna, have tons of muddiness and, again, no headroom. So I turned everything down. Obviously there's no magic number. You just gotta kind of play with it. But a good starting point would be like -6 dB, and then take it from there. Some of my tracks I got turned down like -9. It really all depends on the sample and the sound. But I literally, so let me show you here. So I have both of these samples turned down, -7, and my track is set to 0. And then, all right, so some of these I did turn down just to kind of blend. But I literally only have the kick turned down -3 dB, and it sounds so powerful. And I literally don't have any processing on it. See, the drum bus and all these, whatever this is all off. And let me just play this for you. If I go to the master and turn this stuff off, you can still hear there is no distortion, you know, no clipping. Everything is clean, super clean. So yeah, so you know, what I would definitely recommend doing, so you know, when you start a new track, like I said, just do this as you go. Instead of waiting, I mean, you could wait till you get to like the mixing stage, but then I feel like it's a more of a pain in the ass to go back and do everything, you know, after you've created it versus just doing it as you go. So like I said, when you drag in an instance of like Serum, you know, create the sound, and then when you know, go to put it in your track, turn the volume down all the way. Make sure you're not clipping. You know, maybe you don't have to turn it down as low as I did. But like I said, turn it down. Make sure it's not clipping from the source. And then the rest, I mean, you'll be fine. You can layer and layer and layer and layer and layer, and you will not have any problems whatsoever. So yeah, kind of wanted to talk about that for a moment. Let's see here. Make sure the stream's still doing all right. I don't even know how many people are watching this. It really doesn't say. But yeah, if you guys do have any questions, hopefully we got a couple of viewers. But yeah, if you do have any questions, like I said, let me know. I got the stream here on my phone, so I can monitor the comments and whatnot. So all right, let's move on. So the second bass I got here, it's pretty much, it's very similar to the first one. A little bit of a variation though. So we'll get into this. Again, I just got some OTT, got Serum obviously. We'll go ahead and solo this. And yeah, this is honestly, I used that patch and just changed up a couple things here. So instead of using Monster 1, I got Monster 5. And this time I got a different LFO shape. So I literally just made like an offset triangle here. So it is slightly offset to the center, to the right a little bit. Like I said, it just kind of gives it, you know, more of like that wonky feel. And then, yeah, the only difference, so I got Monster 5. I pitched it up an octave, you know, square wave pitch down. And then, yeah, so all I changed was the wavetable position. So I got this F49, and I'm modulating this with the LFO1. So that's up 42. And then I'm just using bend minus, modulating it up all the way with LFO1. And then everything else is the same. I think I tweaked the chorus. Yeah, so I tweaked the chorus here. I actually turned the mix up all the way. The feedback is at 74%. The depth is at 1 millisecond, and I modulated at 21. And then I also modulated delay 1 from 2.7 milliseconds down -11 with LFO1. Just to kind of give it more of a like a nasty kind of sound. Still has like the same it still has like the same general sound, but again, it's a variation, and it sounds different enough, you know, that it sounds like a new patch, but you know, they complement each other. So I switched the delay a little bit over here. So I turned the feedback up to like 61, and then the delay time is actually at 6.15 milliseconds, and then it's down -8 with LFO1. And then I modulated the mix all the way up, just so it, you know, it's at 100% wet just for a quick second when this peak hits. And then let's see, the EQ should be the same, the reverb should be the same. Yeah, and that's basically it. So what I like to do a lot, once I create a patch in Serum, I will literally, you know, just take it and I'll see how many different variations I can create using that one idea. And I think from this, you know, idea, I probably created like maybe 6 patches. But that's just like a good, you know, thing to do, because I don't know. I find it works the best when you have, you know, similar sounds. Well, sounds that are very similar but different enough, you know, and you know, by using like the same kind of idea, you know, you're more, you have a higher chance of creating a sound that, you know, kind of complements the others. Obviously, you know, there's a million different combinations and a million different things you could fucking do, um but yeah, like, so like when I make a growl bass, you know, you try out different wavetables, different effects, maybe different, you know, warp modes, and you know, like I said, from that one idea you could create 100 different patches. So all right, moving on, I got this growl bass. This is a fun one. So again, I just got some OTT barf bass. So when you're looking for nasty, you know, growly, grimy fucking bass, a lot of the spectral wavetables work well. Alien Spectral works great. Gremlin, Grimace, Trilobite, Monster, those all work pretty great. And you can also like drag in samples too, which I'm actually gonna get into in a little bit. I'll show you guys how to make some awesome fucking custom wavetables, and show you some cool serum secrets, I guess. Yeah, so anyways, for this patch here, yeah, I got Alien Spectral and Grimace, both pitched down 2 octaves, detuned a little bit, slightly, both 2 voices, detune at 0.1 on both. I got the phase set to 125 degrees, random all the way down, so it forces the start at that cycle, so random all the way down, phase, yeah, so every time a note's triggered, the wavetable will play from 125 degrees. And this one is set to just 180, random all the way down. Wavetable position up 161. Honestly, I really don't feel like going through all this shit, but if you want to copy this, obviously go ahead. It's pretty simple. And then I got basic LFO shape here. And then for LFO2, I did something like this, which actually modulates the pitch, the master tune. So if you want, let me go over to the matrix here. Let me do the FX. Effects. Yeah, so here's all my effects. Obviously got that chorus going, got some tube distortion, a little bit of multiband compression, a little bit of EQing, and then I got a comb filter, combs. Yeah, and then the combs filter is actually being modulated by LFO2, not the main LFO shape. Just because I wanted more of like a smooth, I guess smooth transition, or modulation, whatever you want to fucking call it. And then I got the mix. Actually, I thought I had the mix set to. A macro. Why do I have it labeled as phase filter? I don't know. But yeah, and then I have the mix mapped yeah, mapped to macro 3. If you want to take a look at the matrix, here it is. Kind of copy it if you want, don't matter. There's all that shit. Actually be kind of hard to do it now because I don't think you can pause this. You might be able to. If not, you know, obviously this will be available on my channel after, so if you want to go back through and pause it at this point and copy the matrix, by all means. But yeah, so we got that. And then we got this one, which is another similar one to like the main basses. Oh, I never went through and updated these for some reason. Yeah, this is very similar to like the first patch, a little bit different. So I got square wave and I got this like weird sawtooth wave thing in basic shapes. It's a last wavetable. Here's all the settings. For the noise, this is actually, oh no, that wasn't a custom one. I thought that was one of my custom ones. Oh, I only got 2. What the fuck? All right, never mind. Scratch that. But yeah, here's the LFO. It's basically the same thing as the first patch. Just slightly offset a little bit, just to give it a different vibe. Basically the same settings. Like I said, really the only big difference is that I use different wavetables here. And then another cool thing you can do too, if you create a patch in Serum and you get like, you know, all your effects set up, you can actually right click over here and then you can save the entire effect chain. And then you can load it up on a different different sound. So yeah, you can right click over there and then obviously you can load either an effect rack or effect chain. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, that's lock. There was another thing. I think if you go to the menu, I know there used to be a thing so you can like actually save these presets. Oh yeah, right here. So if you click on this little drop down thing, you can actually save like the actual presets too for the effects and everything. So if you have like a specific chorus effect that you specific settings, you can just save it, you know, and yeah, it's a good time. I think I thought I actually did save. Oh, that's weird. It must oh, that's sweet. It automatically creates folders. All right. But yeah, so yeah, you can do that. It's pretty fun. But yeah, here's the matrix. Nothing too crazy. All right. So now, and then in the variation, I think the only thing I really switched up, I added, let me see here. I got this. Oh yeah. I got this new growl bass that I made. And this is actually like a custom wavetable, so you guys really won't be able to follow along. But if you actually do want, I do have like a bunch of wavetables that I've been working on. I probably will give them away. I gotta wait till I get some more viewers and shit. But if you guys are interested, definitely let me know, and I will. I can either send you the wavetable, or obviously I'm thinking maybe like in the next week or two, I'm just gonna post a bunch of wavetables and presets for free on my channel here. So I don't know exactly what day, but make sure you subscribe, and then I'll post a video, and yeah, you don't want to miss that. It'll be fun. It'll be great. But yeah, I'll actually show you how to make these wavetables too, kinda. I made these using some samples and shit, so. God, that is like my favorite fucking growl bass. So yeah, I got this LFO or wavetable. This is basically it. I highly doubt you're gonna be able to copy this. Honestly, I don't even remember what sample I used for this. But yeah, that is the wavetable. And literally I'm just modulating the wavetable position. So the sample, which this is gonna make more sense in a few minutes once I show you this. But you can drag obviously like any sample into Serum. You can drag pictures in the Serum and create wavetables with them. But when you import them, when you drag it in, it gives you a couple different import modes. And there's one that I usually use, which is like import, maintained average pitch. And it essentially allows you to sweep the wavetable position and it'll play the sample basically. So after I did some, fine tuning and I cut away a lot of the unnecessary sounds, or frames, I guess. I essentially just created this basic shape right here, and I threw it on the wavetable position, which essentially just it kind of sweeps through the sound, and it maintains some of the properties of the original sample, which is kind of cool. Then I got the LFO over here at twice the rate, which just, it just fucking goes great together. You can turn off the pitch modulation. I know. Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, so these are the different LFOs. Honestly, you can make basses like this with the stock wavetables in Serum. Essentially just go to like the spectral tab, and a lot of those will work. But you know, you can kind of do like the basic, the same idea will work, you know, pretty much with any wavetable. This one just this is, I guess, just worked for me. And then as far as the effects go, there's nothing too crazy going on. When you're making like growl basses, once you start adding tons of like, you know, chorus and you know, if you add like any phasers or flangers, it kind of takes away from the sound. So you kind of want to keep, like when you're making growl basses, the key to doing it is keeping it simple. You know, and it all comes back to like the wavetable selection. So if you pick a good wavetable, you really don't need much post-processing. So like I said, I got a good wavetable here, and then I just got some slight detune, a little bit of distortion. That's key to distortion. You don't want too much, because then it'll kind of drown out the sound, but just enough distortion to make it, you know, loud and powerful. And then compression, and then just a little bit of EQing to clean it up, and then obviously filtering. But yeah, in a few minutes, I'll show you how to make some basses and make your own wavetables and shit. But yeah, so I got this one. Literally, the last one over here. This is the same patch, but it's just, you know, half the speed, or half the rate. Yep, and then I got a bunch of random shots over here that I found in my library. Bunch of random fucking bass hits and stuff. Nothing too crazy. And yes, it is okay to use samples, I think. Obviously, I would highly advise against making an entire song with only samples. But they are there for a reason, I guess. And, you know, you can use them in moderation, you know, because there are certain things that are pretty tough to make. And there are certain samples that just are fucking unique and sound amazing. That actually sounds exactly like the patch that I made. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna work on the second drop, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to import wavetables and do a bunch of shit in Serum. Alright, so for the second drop, I want to make it like really fucking heavy. And I gotta add some different sounds. So let's see here. Let me just kind of mentally prepare for this. Alright, I kind of got an idea. Modulate this LFO here. Do like a growl bass every other, maybe. Maybe I'll put a growl bass in the beginning, maybe? Whoa, 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 whoa. Maybe something like that. I think that'll be it. Alright, so we'll go ahead and drag some serum. I'm just gonna group all this shit to get it out of the way. Alright. Probably be pretty loud, so we'll turn it down. Alright, so let's find a sample to use. Kind of sounds like a truffle butter bass. I used to have a plugin that had like all of the like the sounds from all like the top hits and shit. It was kind of cool. I never transferred it over to my new computer. If we can make a sound with that, that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, literally all you do, you drag it in, and you got a bunch of different modes here. These bottom four, essentially what this means, like 256, 512, 1024, 2048, that's essentially, it breaks it down into that many frames, basically. I believe it stands for like frames. I don't even fucking know, to be honest with you, but essentially it's the frame size. So 256 is going to be very, you know, very less detailed, and 2048 is going to be more detailed, more frames. I usually use the import normal dynamic pitch foul, which essentially maintains a lot of the you know, a lot of the properties from the actual sample. So you'll see here, if we actually take an LFO, drag it on here, kind of cuts it off a little bit, but so essentially what you got to do then, so we import it, we got this, we're all good. We're just gonna remove this. So now you click this little pencil here, and you just gotta kind of scroll through, and you want to delete all of the frames that don't have much information. So what I usually start by doing is going to the end, and remove selected to end. So now we should be off to a good start here. Ultimate bass. Yeah, you can actually do some real cool shit with this. You can make like a growl with like a real actual vocal behind it. Like it's so fucking cool. The possibilities are literally just endless. This is kind of cool if you mirror it. Kind of cuts out some of those like the you know, some of the frequencies, you know, and leaves basically just like the vocal kind of. Yeah, anyway, so back into the editor here. Alright, so we're gonna go over here, and then just for this example, we're just gonna relieve everything. I really don't feel like going through and deleting anything because I kind of want to keep the sample intact. So now what we need to do is normalize it. So process normalize each gain separately. This will bring the wavetable to the maximum peak. And then we're gonna morph it. There's a couple different morph options here. I believe, let me see here. Yeah, these last two, the spectral ones, I really don't know what it does. I think like, so 0 all phases. I believe what this does, it forces the, if you notice here, all of the wavetables or the frames, the wave cycle ends at 0, I think. It might just be the beginning. Let me see here. 0 fund phase. Let's see what this does. It has something to do with, I'm just trying to visualize what it's doing. Yeah, see, I really don't know. But basically we got spectral and crossfade. They're both very similar. I believe crossfade literally just leaves, it literally just creates a an even blend in between the different frames. And then spectral, I believe it does something. I think it connects them all. That's what it does, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, so crossfade, it will process the frames as is. And then, yeah, spectral will essentially, yeah, because it kind of shifts the end of the phase. Yeah, it kind of links them essentially all up together, I believe. So essentially, like, the end of one is the start of another, maybe? Something like that? I don't know. So, all right, sometimes when you process it too, you will lose a little bit of, you know, sometimes, yeah, you'll lose like the initial sample a little bit, but it's all right. We'll process it and do some cool shit with it. Throw some warpage. Now, when you're also when you're processing, so for instance, this is kind of like a longer sample. So the transition in between the wavetable positions is not smooth at all. So what I would recommend doing is definitely, you know, get rid of some of these and clean it up and take out a certain section. And that's why, like I said, I would normally go through and delete all of the frames that don't have much information. But like I said, that is very time consuming. So yeah. So for now, we're just gonna kind of roll with it. On the other hand, you do got a bunch of awesome different wavetables and can maybe clean this up a little bit. I don't know if this sample is going to work for what I'm trying to achieve, but we can try it. I mainly did this just to kind of show you what you can do with this. See, it's not growly enough. But, yeah, we might be able to make it work. At least, if not for, like, this drop, we can definitely make it into something, a preset for something else. I think it'll really pop when I add a filter, hopefully. Let's see. Try to bring out that vibrato that I got going on. Bit of delay here. Here's a cool trick. So not really turning out how I wanted it, but we'll see here. Let's see what we can do. Set a filter over here. I guess we'll try a bandpass filter here. That subwoofer is just too, it seems a little too intense. Alright, I'll just use a, high peak. Or, I'm sorry, high notch? Good. See if we can maybe get a pitch bend in here. I bet you with some post-processing, this would probably sound pretty decent. Master tune, pitch it down an octave. Actually, we'll do 2. Fuck around with it. Let's see. Come on. Why? Why is my mouse not moving? We need to add another oscillator here, honestly. Wanted. it's going too low. Yeah, there we go. It's a little better. See, I love at the end like that really low kind of just I don't know. That right there, I don't even know what to describe. Just like that belchy growl, like the low growly kind of fucking whatever. I don't know. Engine starting. I think something like that would probably be good. I'm just gonna save this, and then we'll actually, we'll get into, we'll make some patches for the second drop here. Just like I said, I kind of just wanted to show you, you know, different things you could do with, you know, importing. I'll make a bunch of tutorials, getting in depth with different features and stuff. But yeah, just to kind of save time. Definitely be cool for something, especially with like some OTT or some saturation added to it. You know, a little bit of compression, whatever. Well, yeah, OTT is compression. What the fuck am I talking about? But yeah, so. Damn. Need something a little more growly. Hey, those are my samples. Which, yeah, by the way, a bunch of these are all part of my sample pack that I've been working on for a while. And this will be available. I will make some available for free, and then on my website, I created and then kind of just didn't have time to keep it up. So it's still up though. If you go to brokenoceanproductions.com, you can check it out. But yeah, I will have a bunch of shit available to purchase on there eventually. So. Oh yeah, actually, I might even use one of those. What's better than using your own samples that you created yourself? Nothing beats that. Be very loud. Ooh. If that's one of mine, I don't know. I don't think those are mine, but regardless though, that sounds nice, so let's go ahead and use it. So this will be a lot smoother. So yeah, import. So we'll go ahead, open this up, get rid of all the nonsense. Go to the beginning, normalize, morph it, spectral. I'll find that sweet spot. I might actually just use the regular LFO on this. There it is. That's good enough for now. I'll show you another cool trick. So let's make 2 LFO shapes here. You can get some cool effects if you do something like this. So you got one curve here that's maxed out, and then you create another curve that's slightly lower. Let me show you. It creates more movement, and it creates obviously a little bit of a variation. But yeah, I do that in a lot of my patches, and it definitely makes this sound more interesting. little bit of hyperdimension, expander, distortion. Remember, don't use too much because it overpowers everything. So tube distortion is great, but hard clip would probably be better for this. I usually use like diode 1 or hard clip, depending on the sound though. Really all depends on the sound. Turn the mix down a little bit. Compress it. Yeah, that is it. EQ, clean it up a little. See, and this LFO shape, you know, not only does it create movement with like the, you know, like the filters and everything. If you use it on like an EQ, well, yeah, filters, it ties into that. But yeah, you know, you can move the peak up or down, and you know, obviously the LFO peaks at 2 different positions, you know, along the you know, modulation or whatever. So yeah, essentially achieving 2 different sounds. I think that sounds fucking sweet. We had another filter for a little bit of spiciness. I'll even throw a macro on the mix of the flange filter just so you can turn it on or off. Even do something like this where you set it to envelope mode and then loop back at the second curve. A lot of different options. I think this is gonna ruin it, but we'll try it. We're gonna leave that off. Maybe slight reverb just to add a little bit of room. Now we got to create the good old pitch modulation. LFO 3, bring that down. think that's pretty good. Yeah, a little bit of OTT on it. Let's see, we'll turn this down. Some OTT. Throw it into our group here. So let's see. Faster rate, maybe. Ooh, I love that. That is great. Oh my god, that, you know, those harmonics. I better save this before I forget. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. I think I actually need to, let's see, I need it to end on F, so I think I need to put it up one. I don't know if I really like that though. I think if I add a second LFO here, or a second, let me see here. So we'll do this. I'll be like, dun 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 dun. no, I'm running out of ideas. I guess let's just see how this transitions. I definitely love that growl. I love those harmonics, you know, it's just, you know, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but. I think it needs to be like heavier. As much as I love that, oh, that'd be sweet if I, the fuck? Oh, these are both F sharp. No. Just saving these because I don't know why not. Something needs to be different. Ah! Drag this in here, and maybe we can use this. Let's see. I think if I switch up the LFOs, that would sound better. Oh, come on. I didn't fuck this up, I don't hope. Oh no. I don't know why that sounds different. Oh, that's what I did. Fucking knew it. Alright, we'll just leave that. That should be So what I'm eventually gonna do, honestly, I think for this drop, because it's too similar to the first one. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna switch this bass right here. But just because I mean, if I literally sat here, on the stream and tried to figure out what I wanted to do, that probably wouldn't be super exciting. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna give this another playback real quick. Let's see, how long have I been streaming for? I don't know. But if anyone has any questions, now would be the time to ask. If there's anything you want me to show you, anything, any questions regarding production, sound design, whatever, you name it, let me know in the comments, and I will answer your question. So, I'm gonna give this another playthrough real quick. I'm gonna save it too, because technology. See? Not responding. There we go. Alright, I'm just gonna start it from like right over here. kind of like the sequence, so I think we'll duplicate it. We'll try it over here too. That kind of sounds nice layered. Then we'll have to come up with something else for the second half. Damn, I've been streaming for 2 hours now. So, alright. I guess I'm probably going to wrap it up now. Just because I don't want this. I got some other shit to do, but, yeah. One thing I wanted to show you real quick. A little hack, for serum. This is kind of cool. I don't know. I don't really know what you would call this. But if you go to the wavetable editor, let's see if it works here. Let's see. It does work. So you type in words in quotes and it will play it. Not great, but huh. If I can clean this up a little bit. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, you quotes and then you type whatever words and then it creates a pretty shitty version of it. In quotes, and yeah. See if that works. so bad. That is horrible. But yeah, I thought that was worth sharing. I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, so anyways, that's all I got time for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that stream, or this stream. Hopefully you learned something new. Like I said before, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, comments, requests for videos, whatever, just leave them in the comments below. I will be posting a couple new tutorials this weekend, so definitely stay tuned for those. And then I will probably be live tomorrow again, possibly. We'll see. So, yeah, again, I am Broken Ocean, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.